Excuse me. There we go. Hello, everybody. Just adjusting the volume right there. Good to see Todd out there, Tracy, Mike, others are chiming in as well. Let's roll the open. Here we go. Showtime on a Wednesday. And we're just checking the audio. Yeah, the audio's good. Audio's good. We're doing good. There we go. Putting that down. All righty. Hello, Wednesday. Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well as we come your way on the 3rd of Feb. How about that? 3rd of February. Good morning to you in Australia on the 4th, and it's the 3rd of Feb here in North America. All righty. Show today on Virtual Happy Hour. Of course, the show about Hero. Of course, it's not original. That was actually the Seinfeld, but we come in and well, today I'm kind of in my non-professional broadcast clothes. I'm not dressing for the job I want today, unless it's perhaps busboy or just generic white T-shirt. I mean, that's not really sure what I'm dressing for today, but I was dressed earlier in a nice flannel, little flannel earlier. Nice, feeling pretty good about it. And anyway, somewhere, yeah, pretty cool. But just kind of threw this together. But yeah, it's the show about whatever. We're a bunch of folks sitting around the pub, bar, whatever, backyard, whatever, just having a chat. Hey, what's up? Kind of thing, right? That's what this thing's all about. Hey, what's up? That's what we do. We do have a little bit of a format, sort of, in the case that bring this down just a bit. We do a little bit of format because on Fridays we do beer test, and I'm feeling pretty good that we're going to do that on Friday. We'll get to that in a moment. But first things first, let's welcome Mom, who always joins us. Not always, most of the time. Let's go ahead and get her little intro going. Girly intro there for Mom Cam there. Mom, what's going on today? Hello, can you read me over?
Yes, can you read me over and
Yeah,
out?
all good. All good. Yes, I hear you fine. Not sure if it may be a little loud, but maybe not. I don't know. Watching the
Alrighty.
audio peak here. It looks like we're okay. How you doing today, Mom? What's going on? Anything new in the world of the state they call Indiana?
Well, I made a trip into the state of Michigan.
How about that? It's like 6 blocks away, so that's pretty good.
Well, but I mean I even went in a little farther. So
Oh,
so you
border,
guess where I've been?
Detroit.
No. No.
No one goes there anyway.
It's at the Buffalo Rome.
Oh, you went to New Buffalo.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
went there today, or what's the deal with that?
Well, the casino
Or did you go to the casino overnight, or just go for the day?
just for the day.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have another storm tomorrow. So my neighbor um, was getting antsy, so we drove over at 9 this morning. I mean, left at 9, and we got back about 4ish. And I only lost $11. I came home with pretty much what I started with, minus $11. So there you go. So
If you're
I'm kind of a winner.
Yeah, if you're going to gamble and not win, the next best scenario is to gamble and not lose.
That's
And
right.
because the third case is usually gamble and lose and have to sort of drink it off. But
That's right.
that's good. That's good. That's very
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, I came home with only $11 less than I started with. So that's a win-win. And
That
when
is a
we
win-win.
yeah, and we stayed for six hours, so or 5 hours. So anyway, so now I'm back
Good.
home. So
I can
yeah,
see Tim
that's
out there.
and it
So
was
you we was it's so you must be a little weather. So you kind of you beat the old beat the storm in, I guess, huh?
yeah, it's supposed to get really cold in the next few days. I mean, like in the fours and the fives and whatever, and the sevens and whatever.
Well, we're actually in the sevens here. It's the sevens as in 70 is what we are
You
today.
got to be kidding. Well,
No, it's 70 degrees. Although when I did my walk this morning a little earlier than I had, I've been kind of waiting to do it later in the day when it's warmer. But today, because I had the show at noon, I had to get going.
yeah.
And it said that I waited the last possible moment till I would just had to go and, but it was one of those kind of between deals because it was 48, but felt like 43. But the sun was coming up high, and it was supposed to go from 48 to like 60 in like an hour. I mean, we're like that point.
Uh-huh.
And sure, by the time I got about 45 minutes of the walk, it was I began to feel like it was 60. So it was good. So all good. Then I'll hit 70, but we're supposed to get frigid Arctic air to the south coming up this weekend. The polar vortex, whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's.
Well,
I think the polar vortex actually lives in Indiana or somewhere up there,
I
Wisconsin,
think it's
and
maybe think it's where Kevin lives. It's where it lives.
Minnesota. Yeah, it could be Minnesota too. All those northern climes that have
Yeah.
tundra and all
Yeah,
that.
we're getting. Yeah, I think we're getting. Yeah, that this in the next couple of days, it's going to get nasty again. Uh, the streets are just. Well, we still have snow on the ground, obviously,
Right.
but the streets are pretty pat. I mean, they're the major arteries are always passable, even unless it's snowing at the time. But anyway, so yeah,
All
it
good.
was. It was sunny today. We've had 3 sunny days in a row, and so but it's cold. It's been 20, 25, 30, something like that. Uh, so so that was my big adventure for the day.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got to get out and hit the casino and all that good stuff. Get treated like the casino queen you are. That's good. I'm like to hear that. That's good. You
No, I
deserve it.
guess. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
sure.
good.
Yeah. So okay, well, I'll get on the other side.
All right. Be good, Mom. Love you. There she
Love you
goes,
too.
folks. There she goes, Mom, heading back to whatever she was doing earlier. There we go. Promise. There we go. Let's bring that off and close that down. And there we go. And take that one off. Sorry, a little. Here we go. Kevin says, I'm heading south for the weekend, Des Moines. Well, I guess that is south for you, bud. Have you guys ever driven 95? I don't know why this reminded me of that, but it does. You've driven 95, which runs basically from Miami or the Keys up into Maine, but it's the main artery that gets you from, say, New York City to Florida, right? I mean, it's runs up the eastern seaboard through the south. It was part of, living in Jacksonville, I was very familiar with 95. I get you out of Daytona and down south of there, down towards Space Coast. 4 crosses over Florida, over to Tampa, but you go south to Miami 95 and takes you up to the Brunswick and up to Savannah, Augusta, then Savannah, and kicks over into South Carolina. It takes you up to the Carolinas, Virginia, and all the way into the DC and all that. Anyway, long and short of it is 95. There's a south, it's kind of a bit, but between North Carolina and South Carolina off 95, I believe it's 95, maybe 80. It's 95, I'm pretty sure. Right around Florence, South Carolina, there's a place called South the Border, this huge, large tourist trap. And if you're coming from the north, like say Virginia, down into North Carolina, and there'll be these signs every 20, 40 miles or so. Don't forget, stop south of the border. And the whole bit is to be sort of like south the border, like a sombrero thing. It's like this little south the border play on being south into South Carolina. Was the whole bit. I mean, you're in North Carolina and you travel into South Carolina, it's south of the border. Anyway, this tourist stop, it's kind of like a giant Stuckey's. Remember Stuckey's from back in the day? It's this truck stop. Maybe it's more like a Buc-ee's. A Buc-ee's with a campground, maybe, if I remember, serves, and some restaurants. It's just a kind of cool little, probably putt-putt. South of the border, though. But anyway, when you said that, Kevin, my mind immediately went to my drives up and down the South Atlantic League back in the 90s, seeing that south of the border place up and down 95. And you'd see the sign, and you knew you're about to get to South Carolina or out of South Carolina, but based upon it was 2 miles to there and you're going north, well, you're almost into North Carolina. If you're going south, obviously you're almost to South Carolina and out of North Carolina. So if you saw it 100 miles away, you're up in Virginia coming out of West Virginia, which I've done that a few times. Anyway, I don't know why that rang a bell with me, but I did. Hope you guys are doing well today. Had a pretty good day so far. We had a pretty fun little show at noon today, and I want to show you guys a little something because I think it's fun. I don't often, I'll toot my horn sometimes, but this is a little fun little ditty I came up with today. I think it merits a little showing. I think I'll show it real quickly to you if I can find it here. Here we go. This would be wrong one. This would be, here we go. This is the Monarchs live intro is what I'm going to play for you guys. And with my limited resources, skills, manpower, all that, this is what I could put together in a couple of days' notice. I don't have what this show really does is help prepare. No one in my ear telling me, hey, this person's alive. I mean, I had to literally do everything. And once in a while, you'll forget, like I forgot during my 101 today, History 101, to put up a picture. And that's the worst thing that happens, all bad.
I'm going to come say hi because I can tour in a few minutes.
Okay.
What do you mean by not whining?
You've kind of been whining around the house.
It's because I've been tired.
No, but did you come say hi for what? What are you going to offer the show today?
Somebody who's not in a white t-shirt.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous. I just gave up. But I wanted to match the dog. He looks probably. Let's show him.
Yeah, he's pretty.
You look good today, bud. Hello, folks. I'm not quite Max. Look, show everybody how you look there, buddy.
He's a pretty puppy.
He's looking up here like.
Looking at Mama. What are you looking at?
He's got to go back tomorrow because apparently Mom wants him really, really shaved.
I don't want the long.
But yesterday he was like a combination Wookiee and polar bear walking. I mean, his hair was so long in his legs. He was like walking on his fur, like the fur around his feet. He was like, it was something. It was like shoes, like fur shoes. You ever seen those? They're fur shoes. Anyway, you look much better today, bud. So what's going on in your world?
I'm gonna be tutoring in about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
With a freshman on the Odyssey.
Freshman on the Odyssey. That sounds like a real kick right square in the backside.
No, it's good.
The Odyssey. Now that is a Shakespeare. Homer Call of the Week from the ticket. No.
No, Homer.
Homer's in Alaska.
Just Like,
Oh, he's like a poet. He's all right. I had a cousin named Homer.
you did not.
Yes, I did.
Who? How do I not know?
Homer
this?
Hopkins, right, Mom? Don't. I mean, it's almost,
That's bull.
no, it's not bull.
Is this person like 95?
He was a Shriner clown, for crying out loud.
A clown that I believe is real.
No, he's a real person. He's no longer with us, but
He
yes.
was like your first cousin.
No, he's like my dad's first cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like on the Vaughn side. I'm just saying. I mean, I know we're not North Dallas sophisticated with names like Thurston and Legend and
Nor are we.
yeah. See, Mom chimes in. Yes.
That's funny.
Yes.
I bet he got beat up on the playground.
I don't know. He was a pretty legendary dude. He worked for Coke, I believe. So anyway, yeah, that's what we got going on here today.
Well,
So,
we can run downstairs.
quickly though, before you go, you're kind of talking to Mike here. Your symptoms today are?
For the most part, gone. It's just tired. I'm just residually tired.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's a.
I could lay down and take a nap at any time.
For me, I slept 8 hours pretty solid, except for getting up and get a drink of water, go to the bathroom once at like 4. I mean, up and down and back to bed again. 8 hours wasn't enough. And usually that's like nirvana for me. I went back at 9.5. I missed my men's Bible study this morning, but I honestly, the one thing is last night we had dinner, 6:45. I made really delicious turkey meatloaf, which by the way I should have done a video on that. I got to get those videos going. I'm going to see Tiffany out there too. But after dinner was over, man, I hit the wall. Now, granted, I was pretty busy. I was, doing the cooking and all that, but I was working on some stuff for the show today, and I'm going to show that to you in a moment. But we were upstairs in the bedroom watching TV, 7-something. I mean, was definitely getting tired. In the bed at 8. I mean, I was pretty much ready for bed. And I got up, around news time, watched the first part of the news. I did come in here and do a couple of items for the show today. Not this show, but the one at noon. But and I got a little second wind on what's weird. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. I haven't felt like this maybe since high school, where I'd kind of go, you'd struggle into class first, then you get going. Then you'd kind of, maybe you'd go, go to study hall and you get tired. Then you'd kind of get woken up again for the next class, and you go to lunch. Then you kind of get fat and happy for lunch. And this is before my coffee days, so it was Dr. Peppers or Cokes, whatever back then. But it was so up and down. And then oh gosh, here comes football practice, and you had to get up again. And that's kind of the way I think that's kind of how I feel as the dog's going nuts. I think it's up and down, up and down, up and down. But I will say the COVID after effects are the fatigue. A little short of breath right now, but not anymore. Nothing to be alarmed about. I mean, I worked out today. I think I walked 70 minutes today, 70 minutes yesterday. A little sore, perhaps, with the hips were a little sore. But other than that, I mean, I wasn't winded doing that. But now a little bit now, just a little bit now, a little short of breath now. But the fatigue thing is the one deal. That's the one thing. And yes, like I told you guys, I didn't have it as bad today as I did yesterday. But last Monday, in the afternoon, I literally after my smoothie at lunch, usually that happens a little bit anyway. I'll have a smoothie and I'll kind of get fat and happy. But a little bit like that to a degree yesterday. Not as much today, I think, because I was geared up for the show. That helped a little bit, the adrenaline, but I am a little bit more drained now, I guess I could say. Kevin, speaking of baseball gibber, yes, I did meet Wayne. What he's speaking of, and I just saw this, Wayne Tullwiger was the manager of the old Fort Worth Cats. He was a player, coach for them for a number of years back in their old days. He was a real big baseball legend in Fort Worth and also in the American Association. When the Cats came back 2006. He was a big big deal, and he pretty well known guy. And he just passed. Saw he passed too, and he was a legend. But not, we hadn't met except for how you doing. I never sat down did an interview with him. He was already retired. But he was retired, although he was coaching first. He wasn't managing. He was coaching first for home games by the time I got back in 13-ish. 12, 13 he was coaching. At least 12 he was coaching because the Cats went away in 13. But I did get a chance to kind of, say hello to him a couple times at the ballpark there in Fort Worth back in the day. So to see Lance. But yes, yeah, he was a legend. Okay, I want to play this for you guys. I don't know if you this is not a advertisement for the Monarchs live show, but I was pretty proud of the way it turned out. I had a concept, and I still have a concept with this, and it may be something I'll work on as the show evolves. But this is what I came up with for the open for the show, and it's also what the close basically is too, for the most part. Let me bring this down so I can give you guys the whole thing here. But this is what I came up with today for the Monarchs Live Open. Here we go. Has that groovy, jazzy thing. I feel like I should be wearing the press cap from the 1930s. Hey, champ, how you doing, champ? How you feeling? But that is it right there. That's it definitely has an old school jazz feel to it, which was the idea. Anyway, kind of cool little ditty there. What I'd like to do at the very end of that, you see where I'd like to see the typewriter print actually type welcome up, just I want to see it. And that's something I'm going to work on. It's just going to take some time. After Effects I can do. It's probably the program I'm least savvy at right now, although the editing part of it I'm able to no that was all edited on Adobe. Now some of that stuff I added to some of the programs, but by and large the After Effects program is the one that really takes me some time, only because I have the steps I got to be reminded every time. I'm getting there, and I just haven't. And I think more times I use it, but I'm going to definitely see if I can come up with that. Maybe we'll see. If not, find somebody to do it for me, or who knows? I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, that's the Monarchs Live new open there, and it was something I came up with last couple of days. The show I thought was fun. I would have liked to have had more time to prepare for it, but because just because I'm in production, I was in law production and doing some other little odds and ends too that came up, and I like to overproduce a little bit, probably even for this show. So anyway, so I was real proud of that. But yeah, for us, I would think today we are probably, my wife actually she's out of isolation. No, I'm not, but she is. She was able to take the dog today, make a bank run, run some medicine up to Caroline up in Allen. So she's out. There's a debate I'm having. Now, I don't know exactly what to make of this. I'm a little confused, but if you test positive, you're fewer days in isolation than if you're around someone who tests positive. Kind of odd. For example, if I hadn't tested positive last Wednesday, which has been a week ago, obviously, and I was around my wife, I would be required to 14-day isolation, regardless of my test results. Well, even if I tested negative on Wednesday, but experienced no symptoms, I would still have to be 14 days in lockdown. Now, because I tested positive, my 10-day clock began on Wednesday. So we've had a little debate here. Over the weekend, I should be out of it, but I'm going to probably err on the side of caution. I would imagine outside of maybe a dinner or something like that, I imagine Monday will be my first day kind of out and about. To a degree, I may make a coffee run or actually would like to make some wings, some air fried wings, which we're going to do that recipe hopefully next week for you guys. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm coming from. It's just odd. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is to it. I don't know if there's a reason behind it. But, I'll take it. But Caroline's better. If she stems positive in the right direction, she'll be able to move to the dorm on Sunday. Now, she's still thinking that the infusion treatment may still be for her. We're not sure. We've been waiting to hear. But again, my wife, much better, although she's had some, there are the after effects, which I've only experienced the fatigue part of it. She's experienced mild headaches, some nausea, things of that nature. The Regeneron infusion for me, I think really helped sort of navigate some of those possibilities. Knock on wood, but my wife lost her sense of taste and smell last Friday. I haven't. Knock on wood. Although she's getting some of it back, she was able to taste the meatloaf last night, turkey meatloaf, by the way. Which, I got to tell you, I love the old school. It's the recipe my mom gave me years ago when I was a bachelor in college age years, and I've honed it a little bit, added some things in there, but to turn it into a turkey meatloaf last night, and I'll tell you, love it. What brand is it's a Corsair, I believe. I believe that's what it is. Hold on, let me spell that for you. It came fairly high rated on the air fryer side of things. Let's see here. Let me just see here. I think that's it's COSORI. COSORI. Kozori. Pretty solid. We've been very, very happy with it. Let's say COS. I'll say it was COSORI. Yeah, we've been pretty happy with it. I cannot think of really anything. There's a lot of things you can do with it, but I think we've done pretty much. I'm amazed. Well, the fact that it does wings, it's a big plus. You can knock off a dozen. I can do a dozen, 16 wings, whatever. 12 to 20 minutes, somewhere in there, just kind of depending on how it goes. But I believe the recipe's 12. Then it's flip them and do another 6 minutes or whatever. But about 20 minutes roughly for a dozen. And what we usually do is I'll make them in 2 batches, and I'll put the ones that are done in the oven to keep them warm. Then I'll do the sauce separately. But yeah, I liked it so far. Those wings have been pretty solid. No complaints. Everything we've made, even things I made from frozen. We made frozen okra was probably the one that there are certain things you've got to either put some spray in there, or even just a touch of oil in there will help. And I think maybe frozen vegetables might be one of those. We didn't do that. We kind of sprayed a little sticky spray in there last night. It helped a little bit. I did chicken sandwiches, frozen chicken breasts, breaded chicken breasts, like a Chick-fil-A type sandwich on Monday. And those, I think, took us 10 minutes to make those. I think I did them for 10 minutes, flipped them for from 2 to 6. And I think I left them in there for, 13 minutes, and they were great. They were fine. I've done frozen stuff. Then I've also made fresh stuff, made fresh chicken strips, my own concoction as well. Like I said, the wings, my own concoction. So it's good. There are some crazy things you can make with it that I've not done. I've seen things like chocolate chip cookies, but if you can do it in the oven, why? I mean, but there's a lot of, it's a real handy little device. We use it like tonight. I don't know if we'll use it tonight, although we're going to do some burgers tonight. We could do the fries. The air fryer fries or tots are great, but we could do that tonight, or I may just go chips tonight. We'll see. The air fryer's been a good development in our house. It's been good. The chicken possibilities, especially taking the fried chicken, the wings, that kind of deal. The grilled wings I love, and then these wings also pretty solid. Then again, we've done chicken breast. I've done some. We'll do some catfish fillets, probably shortly. Different things like that. So there's some very positives there. So anyway, all good. So that's what we got going on. What do you folks got going on today? What do y'all got going on? Didn't realize I look so terrible in the white t-shirt today. Let's see. Again, Friday, we will do the beer test. I guarantee. Grilled cheese sandwich. You know what? You're talking about in the air fryer. I think I saw that recipe. There's a lot of really cool air fryer recipes out there. I think that's the one I saw as well. I think. What the air fryer does, and if you guys aren't familiar with the air fryer does, circulates the air. It's the old convection style. I'm amazed at really how the things I fried have, because who doesn't like for example, chicken nuggets. Love me some chicken nuggets, deep fried, not so good for you. Fried some up on Sunday after we watched church online. They were solid. Had that fried consistency to them. Maybe a little softer than normal, but they were cooked fine. And they had the breading on the outside. I mean, it was fine. Now, you can cook a lot of stuff from frozen. I've done frozen shrimp, but I've also done my own stuff. I've did my own I've done breaded chicken, chicken breast, all that. So anyway, you could do it. But yeah, that sounds like a good thing to try that. To try that grilled cheese sandwich. Throw a little, I don't know, something in there. Maybe some. I like grilled ham and cheese. We call them toasties in Australia. And there's a place there in Perth that Paul and I go to, Paul Morgan. Speaking of Perth, there's Brook Night up in Oregon, but a Western Australia legend. Good to see you, mate. There's a place in Perth. It's in this alleyway in the CBD, Central Business District, right off Wellington Street, which is Wellington's kind of like, there's like four main drags, and two of the streets, one of Ming Hay is actually, and King Street are both at parts of downtown are blocked off for a pedestrian mall. Wellington's is the one that, and Wellington around the corner on this alley is this little place with the best toasted sandwiches in the world. It's all these people do is toasted sandwiches. It's a lot like, if you've ever been to the Grilled Cheese Company in Dallas, there's two locations in Big D, one at Bishop Arts, one at Mockingbird Station. That's their rival. Those two places are the best toasted sandwiches I've had in the world. But veggie and cheese is also a choice of mine. It's a grilled cheese with some Vegemite on there, but really, really good. A little salty, but good. But this place in Perth, though, it's all they do is toasties. And it's in this alleyway, and you go down this alley, and there's some street art on the wall on the way in, and there's all it is a kind of a storefront and alley. It's got a little patio with some old school spools set up as tables, and there's a little storefront. You go in with a little kitchen, and they've got the ordering inside. Then you come out eating out in the little foyer there. Place rocks, man. That place freaking rocks. And the Grilled Cheese Company in Dallas is awesome. But I'm going to try grilled cheese in the fryer. That interests me, because who wouldn't like a grilled cheese and throw some ham on it for me, or throw a little, like I said, veggie on there. I don't know. We'll see. Let's try that out. Yeah, so the air fryer has been a big change. We talked about it quite a bit. I did notice, did you guys see this? And I don't know if this was in Georgia or the Carolina. I want to say it was in Charlotte. Remember about a month ago, my daughter brought up the fact that Chick-fil-A could be the vaccine kind of Phyllis, if I could say it, facilitator. God, why that word's so hard. Do you see the Chick-fil-A's doing that? There's a Chick-fil-A somewhere in the Carolinas that's doing that, where they're doing the vaccine, and Chick-fil-A folks are running it. Get rid of a drive-through. You know how I can. And they're taking notice here in DFW, out at the Texas Motor Speedway, which is the big NASCAR Formula One track. It's located just north of Fort Worth, between Fort Worth and Denton. Huge complex. I believe it's the second largest speedway in the world behind Indy. Big place. I mean, this place, I think it seats 250,000, some crazy. It's got a condo facility attached to one end, and I mean, it's huge. Anyway, they're using their parking lot, which goes on and on forever. Using the parking lot for folks to get the vaccine. It's kind of cool. So folks are actually driving up. They pull into a first tent that's like the registration tent. They go to another one that does their vitals, and a third tent. And they got these, and I think Dodger Stadium's doing it in Los Angeles. Folks are getting creative and trying to get these vaccines out. They're going to need to, because we're all kind of bottlenecked up, and it's a little difficult to do it lining up outside of the convention center or whatever. But that helps. But the bigger venue and the more convenience, and I think that's something they're doing there. It's kind of cool. So anyway, what else you guys got? Friday, you looking forward to the beer? We're going to bring the beer back after a 2-week hiatus, mostly because of COVID. Then also we were gone, so that was part of it too. So COVID, and actually we had a show. We had an Australia show, and then we had COVID. But yeah, we're much better, although the fatigue, and again, thanks to the thoughts and prayers. I said it to you guys on Monday. A lot of negatives in social media, but this is a positive to see folks out there reaching out. We had folks from all over the world reach out to both of us. And if they reached out to both of us or separately and they didn't have, maybe they weren't. Here's what's cool. Many of them have been friends of my wife's, or just friends of hers. They reached out to both of us. And it was I got to tell you, without her, it would have been a mess. Hey, we could go today. I was like running fever, thinking, this is going to be a terrible next 5 to 7 days. If it's anything like the experience I went through in Australia last year, when I swear I had it, I don't know for sure, but I got pretty sick for a week. And if it's anything like that situation, not good. And I went from fever down a path that didn't look good to the infusion 24 hours later, and like clockwork. And I tried to kind of force myself through it to feel good, making myself walk and all that, which I think did help a lot. But if I hadn't got the infusion, I'm probably still digging out of it right now, because my wife dug out of it she was in it for at least in the weeds for a week, at least, and didn't really feel better until Monday, and is now, even though we have extra symptoms, fatigue. Now, the good news is we both have, we'll give you one piece of good news for the symptoms. Weight loss apparently has not been an issue. Now, while I've been starving middle of the night, during the day, I mean, I've been hungry, we've managed to drop some pounds in our house. My wife hit her goal weight this week, and I weighed today the lowest I weighed since I began this thing, and probably the lowest I've weighed since, say, 2010, 12, maybe even maybe 13, somewhere in there. I'm still not quite in the teens, but I hit 320.5 today. I'm about 5.5 pounds into the teens. For a while there to the holidays, I couldn't get the weight off. I hit back to 330, but I was working out every day. But during the holidays, just couldn't shed anything. Finally, over the course of last week, before I got sick, I actually worked myself back into the 20s again. And then this week, with the workout and I'm eating my smoothie routine back again, I'm close. I mean, I'm about 0.5, Mom, from one more milestone. So we're getting close. I don't know how close. I don't know if I'll be there next week or not, but I don't know how much of this was the body burning all that. If it's how much of it, because a lot of it, I also drink a boatload of water. I mean, last week, I mean, I was drinking so much water. I mean, I was peeing 4 times a night because I was just so dehydrated. Not as much this week, but I wonder how that'll translate. But I think I'm very close, getting to the three teens, and it means I'll be, 19 pounds away from the 200 range, and that'll be a big deal. So my goal of getting to in the 200s, my goal to be down 100 by opening day this year is going to, I think I'm within a shot of it. We're going on holiday next month. I think I should, and the amazing part is I thought I was in better shape in Belize last March. I think I was down 30 pounds then, but I'm going to be down basically doubling that. And I'm just looking forward to that in general. And I can tell you from walking the airport in Kansas City and being, carrying my bags around and all that, not the issues I had in the past. A year ago when I was in New Zealand at the airport coming back to the States, I had the furthest gate to get to, and I was in a hurry. And boy, my back was killing me. I was huffing and puffing. Even though I'd already started my workout and dropped 20 pounds, I still wasn't where we needed to be yet. And I remember even had to stop and kind of rest a moment. I'd make that walk today in a heartbeat, no problem, no dramas. So anyway, that's the good news, is that the weight loss seems to be not COVID. COVID has actually helped that out a little bit. Now, the key is this peak thing. I think for us, we're both in such cardiovascular shape. We need to get some weight workouts going, but because you can't get to it, we can get to a gym, but because we haven't, and because of the whole COVID related thing, we just haven't. We need some kind of gym. We need to get this thing over with so we can get in the gym and do some of that. So anyway, that's pretty much what I got. Super Bowl Sunday coming up this weekend. How about it, huh? Run it back for the Chiefs, or will it be the Buccaneers? We'll see. Total loss now. I didn't quite hit the next to the teens, Mom, but let me double check. I believe 83. I believe it's 83. And now I peaked. I peaked for, well, I say peaked. I couldn't, I think 83 or 84, Mom. It's not quite 85. And I'm not quite into the, I'm probably one more week away from getting to that point. I was in the 8. I've been solidly in this between 77 and 80 the last 6 weeks. Really, since Thanksgiving, I've been hovering about the same spot. Finally seeing some changes. I think part of it's because we did the cardiovascular thing has been big for us. We've been doing that. That's probably more than anything. But the weight thing, there's still some toning we can do physically. We're still a long way to go. We got long way to go to get there. And for some reason my phone is good gracious. Oh well. To restart my phone because I can't even. There we go. It's frozen. Internet. But yeah, it's pretty good progress, Mom. We must say. So yeah, total loss. I think 80. I think it was 83 or 84, somewhere in there. So I finally got back to the 80-pound range, and then where I was, and now looks like we're firmly into that 80 stretch. That's good. So I'm very excited about that. And just going to keep plugging away. That's all we got to do. Keep plugging away. All righty. That's what I got today. I don't really have much else. Pull this up for the week ahead. We will be tomorrow. Paul Morgan and I will be at 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time in Texas, 7 a.m. in Western Australia. We'll have Talking Baseball Australia live. It's a bit of a weird show. I know we'll pull it off because we always do. We have a good broadcast partner, makes it easy. But we don't really know if for sure Perth is playing, and if so, who they are playing. We just don't know. And this is the final round of the Australian Baseball League. Playoffs begin after that. I mentioned this on Monday to you that there was a small cluster in the West. There was a small cluster in Victoria. I've seen all kinds of different reports and some official things that come out. I don't know for sure how it's going to break down. They may play Adelaide again, which will be 3 weeks in a row playing the same team. And I got to tell you, game notes for the same team and stats for the same team are like, There's only so much you can do, but we'll fight through it. So we'll know more about that. But I imagine tomorrow on our show we'll discuss that in pretty much big detail tomorrow. That'll air again on our Facebook page, Talking Baseball Australia, and that'll be on tomorrow, 5 o'clock, 7 a.m. in the great state of Western Australia. So that'll be coming your way tomorrow night. Then on Friday, we're back here. This again, we'll do our. I believe we'll test beer now. How much if I will take imbibe in both of them, and like I usually do, and finish both. I don't know, but I do believe I'll at least do multiple sips. That it's just amazing. Again, I keep saying it's such a social media can be such a divisive thing, but also can be a great thing. So thank you for all you folks that reached out to my wife and I. Big hugs, virtual hugs to all y'all. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's love more tomorrow than we did today. How about that? Let's do that. And let's continue to be better people and show more love, more support, and just keep fighting on and get through this thing so we can get some kind of life back to normal. But take care of those loved ones around you. And again, if you're feeling ill, wear that mask. If you're not feeling ill, wear that mask. Wear that mask, and more importantly, just be nice. Let's just be nice. That'll go a long way, I think, right? Support your locals as well. I'm going to press play, though. Let's try it again. Let's support your locals as well until Friday. Let's try it again in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.